Hello everybody, this is Wout, and in this video I would like to share a theory I've come up with that um, connects us human beings with nature through our third eye. So lately I've been spending a lot of time in nature, in the forests by myself to, just reconnecting myself. And connection came back that I haven't felt since I was a child. Like I started feeling the plants, started feeling the soil, like to actually feel them as living beings. Like I know rationally they were living beings for a long time, that everything is alive, everything has spirit. But to actually feel it, that's a completely different story. So that's a really beautiful experience, and that I realized I was feeling almost constantly when I was a child. I was a nature child. I was always outside, being with water, with trees, with plants. I love animals. I really like with any animal, insects, mammals, birds. Didn't matter really, but it sounds really beautiful. But with that connection that I experience now, also came a hurt, and that hurt is the earth that feels hurt by us, like we because how I feel the image is that we are just behaving ourselves as some thick-skinned golems that don't really like have no idea that they're harming things, but because they are so thick-skinned, but they are actually doing that. So after I experimented also a little bit with the plants in my house, and it was pretty profound. And I will probably gonna make another video about connecting yourself to plants. It's amazing, and I think everybody has a right to experience this. And I'm almost like say like I'm actually convinced, I would say, that this is our birthright. We are supposed to be doing this. So back to that story. Um, Afterwards, I started to integrate all that and to connect dots. So in the past year, since my spiritual awakening, I've had like mad experience with my third eye. So it's there and it's real, and it's beautiful and it's scary at the same time, especially when you don't expect it to open. That's also for another day. Anyway, I know more people who have had similar experiences, and actually that number is growing. So throughout human history, like especially in the ancient civilizations that are documented, you see the third eye as something that was depicted to us human beings as something of great importance. Like, for example, take a look at the Egyptians. In India, you have many examples. In Hinduism, you have even in the church, in the Vatican, you have like pinecone shaped art stuff. So it's clearly it's very important to us. Now, um, throughout history, there are also, and actually they still exist, many relationships we have with nature and plants. And to name one, a big one is ayahuasca. And ayahuasca is made out of two plants that, when brewed together, you get the brew named you get the ayahuasca brew. And there are many more examples like that. Like cacao is a very, when you take ceremonial cacao, it's a whole like different experience than supermarket cacao. But like the whole way to prepare this cacao is very beautiful. In Europe, you have also like the druids and the witches, and I've been studying the plant medicine by them, and it's often like it's a very thin margin between death and healing, or opening gateways to other realities or other perceptions of reality. So it's how science is contributing that to coincidence with these plants, but I think it's very unlikely in so many instances that we are just like randomly trying plants together and then a bunch of us dying, and other ones are like, oh, well, probably if you take 1 milligram less of this. They didn't even know what milligrams were, by the way, but it's like, oh, then maybe, well, then you heal yourself, you know what I mean? So, yeah, very interesting. Then there's some more examples like Terra Preta, that's the black soil of the Amazon. That is highly, highly fertile, self-maintaining soil, but man-made by an ancient culture that's very likely to be El Dorado. But again, modern science cannot explain it. Then you have a guy named Victor Schauberger, who is like a scientist who made loads of like cool inventions with water, and it's very interesting to look at. Like, he made this all like really cool devices, and they look really like detailed. He used a lot of copper. He discovered like that when you make water move, that it's actually alive and healthier than just like dead tap water. And he also discovered that when you use copper with water, that somehow brings life to water and brings life to soil, instead of when you use an iron shovel. But super interesting guy. But how he explained his findings, by the way, science can also not replicate his inventions. So how he found these inventions, in his own words, is that he attached his consciousness to the river. So he spent lots of time in the forest and looked at the river, and something happened. So he attached his consciousness to the river, and by that gained a lot of information from the river. So yeah, when I started connecting all these things together, like this Terra Preta, the plant medicines, Victor Schauberger, my own experiences, other people with the third eye, because it's always just nice to have some references, you know. I think so. I started to piece this all together, and also from our shamanic history. So, what I conclude from this is a theory, right? So it's not the absolute truth, and you can do with it whatever you want. Is that we have had a very, very close connection with nature. We were nature, like we communicated with plants. We got information from plants, and it happened through a third eye. That's why it's so important in human history. That's how we connected to other beings, to the earth. That's how we communicated with earth. That's how earth taught us things. That's how plants taught us things. And I feel right now we're in a shift, and that connection is coming back, which makes me really happy, but also makes me realize that we're not there yet, which is also at times I feel very painful. But yeah, I really hope I sparked some minds here. So wish you all a great day, and take care.